All right, guys, this is Perspective by Dakota. So we're going to touch on a really interesting topic today, and that topic is forgiveness and letting go. Just to give you a quick story about myself, I found that forgiving and letting go things in your life by actually understanding the bigger picture has been one of the most important and empowering, things that I could have brought into my life. And I'll explain to you why. Let me ask you something. Is there a time where you didn't think what you were thinking today? And maybe in fact you were thinking the opposite, but you had an experience that made you change your viewpoint, right? Let me ask you another question. Do you feel that there are some things in your life right now that maybe you are ignoring out of anger or not willing to be wrong and let go of your ego, but deep down inside you know that it wasn't the right decision and it may be hurting and hindering your growth or relationships with other people? Just think about that perspective. So, I had to really let go and release a lot of things in my life that I knew that deep down inside I wasn't right on. But I had that perspective that said, you know what, Dakota, there were some things, at one time I didn't think like this, right? Because I didn't have the experience. So what if that person is in the same shoes? How can I better serve them? I can't better serve them by ignoring them and shutting them out in my life, or saying they're wrong, or saying you don't know what you're talking about, or labeling them as something that they aren't. Because I was that same person. And to be quite honest with you, I feel that, people who, maybe attack others and label, even if you attack and label yourself by saying, oh, you're lazy, you're a quitter, XYZ, all those things, it's because you may still be fighting a mental image in your mind. So in order to combat that, what I do is like to put myself in the perspective of, think, if you were, the hero that you wanted to be, if you were the person who was impacting and empowering others, or think about when you were in 6th grade and there was that real cool kid, who you used to look up to, who was a few years older, and he just did everything cool. He was, maybe kind to other people. Think about how you felt when that person said, hey man, how's it going? Or think about, a movie star or your favorite author or an influential person who's changed the world. Think about that. You know how they ask that question? If you could sit at the table with anybody on earth, who would it be? And what kind of conversation you'd have. Think about how you'd feel if that person acknowledged you and had a conversation. Think about the growth and the doors that it would open for you by that person acknowledging you and giving you that energy and seeing that, it is possible to be like that person, and it is possible to have that spark that'll guide you and drive you to be the best version of yourself. So put yourself in that person's shoes, because you are a teacher, you are a mentor, you are a leader for someone else, for millions of people, for hundreds of people. And you might not see it, but think about it. You could be the person that unlocks and sparks that fire in the person you may be feuding with, just by your willingness to say, you know what? I've grown as a person. I'm not gonna have this grudge that I've had for years in the past, because I know that I'm not the same person that I was in the past. Your iPhone gets updated, you have new iOS software, new Android software. Why don't you update yourself and your mentality and your view? That'll unlock new features that you didn't have before. They're all there, they're all in your mind. So just think about that. That's a little bit of perspective for you. Thank you.